Hello, Charter Oak Chargers. This is Christy Jones, your health and mindfulness coach. And today we are going to be talking about our brain, right? So have you ever sometimes wondered why you have certain behaviors that you have, or certain reactions that you have in situations in life? Maybe sometimes somebody will say something and all of a sudden you get angry and you're like, why did I get so angry? Or you're talking to a friend or a family member and they get angry about something or frustrated and you're like, what did I even do? What did I say that made them upset? So we need to understand our powerful brain. Our brain is the most powerful supercomputer. And to work that computer, we need to understand the parts of it and how to use it so that you can create more of what you want in your life. So you can create more of the passions that you have, the dreams that you have. We need to know how to work this brain. So let me show you a picture of the three main layers of the brain. So here we go. Right here, you're going to see the three main layers of the brain. This lower part right here is our brain stem. So go ahead and make a fist like this. Your fist actually looks like a brain. So follow along with me as we do this, right? So if you open up your hand, this is your handy brain, the hand model of your brain. So this lowest part of our brain right here, we're gonna imagine our hand is our brain, okay? So your wrist right here is like your spine going up to the back of your brain, okay? Got that? Now this lowest part of our brain right back here where I'm tapping, when we tap here, we are tapping our brainstem. Our brainstem would be like the palm of our hand in our handy brain. Do you know what your brainstem is in charge of? Your brainstem is in charge of all of your automatic functions. Your breathing, your heart rate, your digestion is all operated by your brainstem, which is right back here. Now, it's also in charge of our fight, flight, freeze response. When we're under stress, we might go into fight mode and want to hit something or yell. Does that ever happen to you? Or we might go into freeze mode and shut down. Or we might go into flee mode and like, get me out of here. All of these are natural responses to protect us from harm or danger. Our brain, our body wants to feel safe, and those are natural responses. So we want to start becoming aware of what response do I have when I'm under stress. You can go into any response depending on the situation. Or you may have a primary one that you normally default to. So my question to you is, what response do you usually go into when you find yourself in a stressful situation? Do you go into fight mode and want to yell? Do you go into freeze mode and shut down? Or do you go into flee mode and get me out of here? Right? Start becoming aware. The more you understand your behavior, the more you can actually start putting things in place to be in charge of your behavior and to create different reactions. Awareness is key, and it helps you be able to create what you want instead of you get to respond versus react. And so, awesome job in learning about your brain. Okay, so that is our brainstem, lowest part of our brain, okay? Next part of our brain is going to be this mid part right here, this green part. This is our limbic system. This is our emotional brain. In this mid part of our brain, this is where we hold our emotions and our memories. Now, it would be if you put your thumb right in the middle of your hand, this would be your limbic system in your handy brain model. Okay, now, have you ever had an emotion? Say you have an emotion of you're just so happy. And when you were so happy, you started thinking of memories of other times you were really happy. That's what happens in this emotional center. When you feel an emotion, it can trigger a memory. We are working on training our brain to release happiness chemicals, to feel good. And so know when you focus on feelings that make you feel really good or memories that make you feel really good, you're activating that limbic system, that mid part of your brain, and you're going to start feeling good, feeling more joyful. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes our limbic system, we will have a feeling of feeling scared or fearful or anxious or angry, right? And when we have those feelings, it can trigger memories of other times we had that feeling. Has that ever happened to you? Right? So it may trigger those feelings, those memories of other times, and then it triggers the brainstem. So all of a sudden this midbrain is starting to play those feelings and memories, and then it triggers our brainstem, and we might go into fight mode, freeze mode, or flee mode, get me out of here. Those two parts of the brain love having parties together, right? Does this make sense to you so far? I want to make sure everything that we're going over gives you clarity, gives you tools for your life so that you get to feel good and get to feel empowered in the choices and decisions that you make. Now, the last part of our brain, let me show you, is going to be this front part of our brain right here. So this yellow part is just like our forehead. Our forehead right here would be, if we have our handy brain and we bring our hand together, it'd be your front two fingernails, okay? This is our prefrontal cortex. Here's the cool thing about our prefrontal cortex. It is our rational brain, our decision-making brain. And so when we're doing our breathing exercises, when we're doing mindfulness exercises, or things you enjoy like art or running, and you feel like you're in flow, you are using all three layers of your brain, your brainstem, your limbic system, and your prefrontal cortex, and you're in flow. Now, sometimes we can get triggered by something and we can flip our lid. When we flip our lid, right, we are no longer using our rational decision-making brain. Remember, this front part of our brain is our rational brain, our decision-making brain. And when we get triggered by something, when we fall into a stressful situation, we will flip our lid, and guess what happens? This prefrontal cortex turns off, right? Our blood flow actually goes from the front part of our brain to the brainstem, and now we might find ourselves in the fight, flight, freeze mode, right? This is happening sometimes without us even knowing. And so this is exactly why we are learning about the handy brain. So my question for you to discuss with your group is, what makes you flip your lid? What is a trigger for you? When you can start becoming aware of what your triggers are, then you can start putting things in place to relax your body, to become aware of when you start getting triggered by something. Maybe it's when you have too much homework. Maybe it's when somebody tells you something to do and you don't want to be told what to do, right? Maybe it's when somebody takes something of yours. Start paying attention to what makes me flip my lid. This is your power. You are learning how to start uncovering what is a trigger for you, and then become aware so you can actually shift that behavior. As you learn this, you are learning some of the most powerful tools in life to be able to be in charge of your own emotional state. My next question for you is going to be, what helps you relax? What helps you relax your body and your brain? We want to know that too. So hope that this has been helpful for you, so you start understanding your own behavior, how your brain works, and then you can make new choices that feel better to you. Keep up the amazing work on building a healthy brain and a healthy body. Fabulous job. Bye for now.